Goldman Sachs offers the first Bitcoin backed loan as Wall Street embraces crypto. Yes, it looks like it was just for one client, but Goldman allowed the person to put up Bitcoin as collateral for their loan so that they could take out dollars and buy something else. Bitcoin is everywhere. Ben Ark, what do you think about the Bitcoin backed loan coming not from some weird Bitcoin company that gave you a free hat, but instead from Goldman Sachs, one of the biggest names in finance?
Again, legitimizing Bitcoin, isn't it? And all these naysayers who were, talking down Bitcoin, they're now, it's just like free open source software. When that came about, the big proprietary companies would talk it down and they would say it's useless, doesn't work properly, and then eventually they end up having to adopt it and incorporate it into their business models. And then ultimately, that's what Bitcoin is doing now. It's legitimizing itself. It's being legitimized by being so stable and so good and working so well for so long. And now these big institutions are starting to use the technology and make use of it, which is great, because they're also dipping their hands just in that they're starting to realize the potential of the technology in a multitude of other ways as well, by having specialists who they employ, who then have to go and learn more about the technology, and they have to have special departments, which is the Bitcoin department in Goldman Sachs, and that's going to have to understand the technology a little bit more. And again, it's that feedback loop. So yeah, it's a good thing, and it's we just have to let all those things, all these negative things I said about Bitcoin in the past, and we can be the big man in the room. We can say, okay, cool, using it, great. Like, we don't have to rub it in their faces and say, I told you so. Well done, welcome aboard.
Have fun staying poor.
But we can rub it in their faces, and we do have time. As Ben was saying, we were right on open source. We're right on Bitcoin. The next thing you'll tell me is that we're right on The Big Lebowski being a classic movie, which it was not accepted at the time. Dan, Eve, what about Goldman Sachs and a Bitcoin-backed loan? Next time Martine wants to do a loan against his Bitcoin, no more shady companies. Goldman Sachs, you just walk right in the front door, right this way, Mr. Bitcoin.
Straight to the vault, please. I think it makes perfect sense, right? Like, one of the things that people used to use as an argument against Bitcoin whenever it came up in a discussion. When I say it came up in a discussion, when I wouldn't stop talking about it to people, as you do, is that they're like, oh, but Bitcoin's complete. I mean, obviously it's changed now, but back in 2013 to it was it definitely wasn't when I first started talking about it anyway. So it was really, it's quite, people saw it as illiquid, like you can never take, you can never do anything or sell it when you need to, blah blah blah. There's all those arguments, even though that wasn't true. But my argument was, well, if a house, for example, can be used as collateral, then it takes months to sell a house, especially in the UK. It's a right pain in the backside. So with the evolution in all the technologies around buying and selling Bitcoin, or the plethora of exchanges there are, Bitcoin is way more liquid than most assets. It's probably quicker to sell Bitcoin to sign up to an account and sell Bitcoin than it is to sell a stock that you own or something like that, right? It's it's so quick to sign up to an exchange and start buying and selling. So I think that argument for it not being good as a tool for collateral, I think is done away with now, and it's good to see there's a transition here, or not transition, but the bridging of crypto into the real world. Where we've seen it with DeFi and with Ethereum, that you can use your Ethereum and your Link and whatever as collateral, and you can get Ethereum or other stable coins for it. But that's only from a DeFi perspective. But seeing that from Bitcoin into real money facility, I say, sorry, real money. Whoa. Old real money. That's something that's pretty special. That's people have got Bitcoin that they don't want to sell, especially when there's a kind of a bit of a bear market going on. They'd rather be like well over collateralized with Bitcoin, be able to use some of their Bitcoin to get fiat to pay for real world stuff. And then when the next bull run happens, then happy days, they can pay it off easily. So yeah, I think it's good. It's a good thing that bridging the Bitcoin bros to traditional finance hoes.
Next, you'll be saying I can get an NFT back loan, and people can buy cars with curio cards. Yeah, right.
You
Whatever.
actually, there are multiple companies doing NFT backed loans actually.
That's not real. That can't be real.
They genuinely are, yeah. But only with big ones like Bored Apes and Crypto Punks. But they do
curio
exist.
card.
And they should add curio cards.
Yeah,
we should do a petition.
Martine, there's no more weird companies. You don't have to get your loan from someone weird. Goldman Sachs is here. All the big boys are here to fix it. Bitcoin is solved.
I didn't see at what rate this loan was given, and that was I was scanning for. I wanted to know what rates because when I purchased the last apartments with crypto, a crypto Bitcoin backed loan. What I really liked about it is that within 24 hours, the money was in my bank account and I could immediately pay the lawyer, which is really cool because normally if the house you're purchasing is the collateral, you have to get a valuation, you have to get all these income details, you got to really file a pile of documentation, at least 1 centimeter thick, print out duplicates for your lawyer, everything. And now it's 24 hours. And in a market where apartments are selling fast, it's important to be able to just close the deal, say, yes, I would like to have the apartment. And then the agent says, but you're not the only one that wants this apartment. So I'm the only cash buyer. The rest is just dreaming. I can have the money in 24 hours. And that's really beneficial. So yeah, I think there's a bright future for crypto or Bitcoin-backed loans. I know somebody else that used a whole bunch of shit coins to pay for, get a loan. And of course, the market changed and the value of the shit coins plummeted and he got wrecked totally. I said, but at least you got rid of all the shit coins and you still have the apartment. So, you should be happy for it. But that's why it's important. Just use Bitcoin. It's more stable in general than all the other coins. And you don't want your home loan to turn into a roller coaster. But yes, great. But before I would step into Goldman Sachs, I would demand a cap because I'm the only one without a cap here at the moment. So yes, don't care how shady the company is giving me the loan, as long as I get a cap and maybe a cup of coffee would be nice. The reasonable rate, I don't know what Goldman Sachs charged, but it looks expensive. So, probably not as expensive as the 13% they charged me on the home loan, which was like 13 times as much as a normal mortgage at that time. But, for me, it worked. I think the future is crypto and Bitcoin-backed loans. Did I even answer your question, Thomas?
It does seem like Goldman had a specialized service this time. They're not offering it as a broad service, likely why they didn't release the rate. This was probably a special contract for one person. But we'll see. We are getting there. And if Goldman did give you a hat, I think they'd give you a white hat. So you still wouldn't fit in this group of black hats. All right, I don't have an exit question for this one. Moving on, still a chance to push thumbs up. If you didn't push it last time, you're like, I thought about it, but it's really difficult. I have to exit full screen. You have to push.
Can I have an exit question?
Sure, Ben. What's the exit question? Goldman Sachs is a really nice company because they sponsor my Apple Card.
Okay. I just wanted to say that
not a nice company. I'm being sarcastic, but yes, go ahead.
Yeah. With all these Bitcoin-backed loans and loans being done on Bitcoin, I think with the Lightning Network, liquidity pools are going to be a huge thing. So they're all hot wallets, and you've got this money sloshing about. There's no reason why you can't stake some of that stuff into a pool of money, and then that pool of money is then used to loan out to people, and then the people who are then actually providing the liquidity get some yield. So using Bitcoin for traditional finance is pretty interesting, but then when you talk about sort of future finance and actual users being the people who are getting just regular normal users, like not me on my Lightning wallet, I could be getting yield from loaning out some of my Bitcoin, which is just within my wallet. I think that's the kind of cool thing which I'm actually interested in. So hopefully maybe some of these companies will do some R&D into that, and if they don't, then we'll build it and then make them obsolete.